In this video, I'm comparing two of the largest e-bike brands in North America, Lectric and Aventon. If you're not familiar with the channel, we review and talk everything e-bikes. I'm Ryan from Ebike Escape. First, we'll talk about the brands and the key differences. There's actually quite a few, and then we'll get into the model comparison. And by the way, we have in-depth reviews on all of their models, so you can dive deeper if you want to. I have one quick favor to ask of you. If you're shopping for an e-bike, which you probably are if you're watching this, if you found this video helpful, check out the links down in the description. Making your purchase after clicking those links is a free way for you to say thank you, and I thank you for your support. It helps make videos like this one possible. And just to preamble, if you're looking for me to pick a brand, I'm not going to do that. This is more of a brain dump after 4 years of reviewing electric bikes. I've recommended both brands for different reasons. By the end of the video, you'll understand a little bit more of why. When it comes to choosing between Lectric or Aventon, you should know that they are both large brands. I would consider them in the top 5 of e-bike brands here in North America. And while I'm going to talk about a lot of the differences, there's also a lot of similarities, like they both take safety very seriously. You'll find UL certified batteries throughout the lineup from both of the brands. But with that out of the way, let's start with Aventon. We'll start with Aventon's omni-channel presence. This means that Aventon bikes are available both online and in physical stores. With over 1,800 dealers across the US, you can visit a dealership, test ride a bike, and get personalized service. This option can be reassuring for customers who value face-to-face interactions and the ability to see the bike in person before purchasing. Next, pricing. Generally, Aventon bikes are priced higher than Lectric bikes. This is partly due to the costs associated with maintaining a dealer network. However, in some cases, dealerships might sell Aventon bikes at the same price as online, or with a slight upcharge for assembly. It ultimately depends on the dealer. Now, it shouldn't be surprising with the price differences. There's also different features that you get from each brand, which we'll explore more in the model section. Let's talk service and support with Aventon. Having local dealers means you can get your bike serviced easily. This can be a significant advantage if you're not comfortable with DIY repairs or maintenance. Of course, you still have access to Aventon online support, whether you buy online or in store, so don't worry if you've had your eye on an Aventon but don't happen to live near a dealership. The closest dealer to me is about an 1.5-hour drive, and I actually have firsthand experience with this because I had to get our Aventon cinch service through a recall, and they are able to take care of it no problem. Next up, assembly. So obviously if you buy in store, you'll have your e-bike assembled and gone through by a professional mechanic. Otherwise, if you buy online, you'll have what I'll call an average e-bike assembly, which usually involves attaching the stem, handlebars, front wheel, fender, and pedals. Aventon has some great videos on YouTube, so you can check out the assembly videos so you know what you're getting into. Let's move over to Lectric and talk about their direct-to-consumer model. This means that you buy directly from their website. There may be a few exceptions here, but largely this is the business model for Lectric. This approach cuts out on the middleman, allowing Lectric to offer more value for the price, and actually it's kind of an insane amount of value, as you'll see when we get to some of the models. Speaking of pricing, again, Lectric e-bikes are generally more affordable than Aventon. Lectric has just focused so much on driving prices down. That helps get more people to order bikes, which helps drive costs down, which means they can ultimately offer a more affordable electric bike. Sometimes they've also kind of pre-launched their bikes, which means they put them on their website, they launch the bike, and if you're one of the first purchasers, it might be a couple months before you get your e-bike. Again, this is a way that I feel like the company is able to get prices down. And of course, by selling directly to consumers, Lectric can keep prices competitive at almost too good to be true prices, if I'm being honest. Next, assembly. While Lectric bikes require some assembly, they take far less assembly than any direct-to-consumer brand. A key focus for Lectric, in fact, I've heard the CEO say this so many times, they don't want to have the customer have to assemble their electric bike. The way they have been able to accomplish this is either having the bike arrive fully assembled, or depending on the model, attaching the front wheel with a simple through axle and attaching the quick release pedals, which we haven't seen other brands do yet. So assembly is going to be easy, but as with any e-bike, don't forget to give it a safety check before you hit the pavement. Let's talk service and support with Lectric. While you won't find a Lectric e-bike at a dealer, they do partner with more than 500 dealers around the US for service. Typically though, this still means your first contact will be with Lectric directly, and they'll work with you to get your issue sorted out with the help of a bike shop if needed. And just generally, from me keeping a close eye on Lectric for years now and other e-bike brands in various Facebook groups, the overall sentiment is that Lectric support goes above and beyond to make customers happy. If you don't believe me, join some of the Facebook groups. Otherwise, check out our review videos and check out the comment section for those that actually own a Lectric e-bike. Overall, customers who prefer an in-person service and the ability to test ride before buying might lean towards Aventon. On the other hand, those looking to save money and maximize the value they're getting from their e-bike might go with Lectric. But this is just a start talking about how each brand differs. We really need to talk about the models and the various options from each brand. Let's dive into the models and key differences. We're going to start with my favorite category, which is cargo e-bikes, the Lectric Expedition versus the Aventon Abound. Both the Expedition and Abound are designed for carrying cargo, but they have distinct differences. Right now, as I record this, the Aventon Abound is $17.99, plus you get a bunch of accessories and an extra battery for free. Again, updated pricing down in the description, as pricing is going to be an important consideration when you're comparing most of these models. With the Expedition, Lectric really set the floor for what a true e-bike could cost, and that's $13.99 for a single battery or $16.99 for the dual battery. Plus you can typically get a slew of free accessories depending on the current promotion they're running. Here are the main differences though. The Expedition is a little bit longer for cargo space, has a larger load capacity, and is usually a significantly better value. Though Aventon is running crazy dual battery promos right now, assembly is also easier with the Expedition. The Abound has a bit more, let's call it a polished look with its integrated battery and cabling. It's also using a torque sensor for a more natural riding experience. It also has app connectivity, a dropper seat post, and turn signals. Just has some of those extra premium features that you don't see on the Expedition. Next, the folding category, and I actually might pick a favorite here, the Lectric XP 3.0 versus the Aventon Cinch. I'll keep this one short. The Cinch at $14.99 and 2 comes with a free battery right now, has a torque sensor, but still mechanical disc brakes. I had some issues with the cables getting crimped on our Cinch, so I think the XP 3.0 wins out here for being either $9.99 or $11.99 depending on your battery choice, plus hydraulic disc brakes. It doesn't have a torque sensor, but their PWR pedal assist with a current-based system does well enough for most folks. I also need to talk about the Lectric XP Lite, which is $7.99. You're not going to find an Aventon at that price point. It's a great entry-level electric bike. It's very simple. It's also very lightweight. I also think it's a very fun e-bike to ride. I think it's more popular with the younger crowd, but it shouldn't be overlooked if you're looking for a folding electric bike. Next, the Lectric Express versus the Aventon Pace 500 and the Aventon Level. To be fair here, the Express isn't quite out yet, so stay tuned for our in-depth review. Aventon's Level has been a popular choice for some time though, and it has a more aggressive riding position. The Pace 500 gives you a more relaxed riding position, but they opted to save weight so you don't get the front suspension fork. Still, the ride quality is great with the torque sensor, and at $16.99 and $15.99, they are well priced given the quality you're getting. Lectric with the Express seeks to compete with these models, offered also in both a high step for a more sportier riding position and a step through with those swept-back handlebars and adjustable stem. Here's the real kicker though, the Express starts at just $999 for the 500 watt motor and 10.4 amp hour battery, or for $1299 you get a 750 watt motor with a 14 amp hour battery, and surprisingly the Express has a torque sensor. All right, and next, maybe the one you've been waiting for, the Lectric Ebike versus the Aventon Aventure. The original version of the Aventon Aventure was the e-bike in my mind that elevated Aventon to another level, and while there are a ton of fat tire e-bikes on the market today, you'll probably still see the Aventon Aventures most often. It has all the features you've come to expect from Aventon: clean welds, integrated battery, app connectivity, turn signals, and a torque sensor. It just looks like a more expensive fat tire e-bike, and at $1799, yes, also with a free battery right now, it's a phenomenal deal. And it should say something that my dad has chosen the Aventon Aventure for his personal e-bike, even though he has a slew of fat tire e-bike options that I have personally reviewed. And of course, Lectric just couldn't not compete in the fat tire e-bike space, and thus the first gen Ebike was born. At $1399, they're really trying to be the best low-priced fat tire e-bike, but they didn't skimp on the RST Renegade fork that comes included. They even achieved a electric mountain bike standard for increased safety. That was of course with the help of this fork. It has a cadence sensor and a slightly smaller 14 amp hour battery, but it's hard to ignore the value here. I also appreciated the quiet motor on the Ebike, of course taking into consideration how powerful it still is, but still quieter than most. Next, there are some models or styles of e-bikes that are unique to each brand. I already talked about the Lectric XP Lite. There's just nothing from Aventon at that price point. And it's not just Aventon, there aren't many brands that have a $799 e-bike that we can recommend. The XP Trike offers stability with its three-wheel design, catering to those who might not be able to ride a two-wheeled e-bike. It's best viewed as a mobility device, and in our opinion, at $1499, it's the best electric trike for your money on the market today. Next, the Lectric One. It stands alone across the entire e-bike industry. Check out our full review for all of the details, but it's meant to be a commuter e-bike in a smaller form factor. But the biggest thing here is the pinion gearbox with a Gates belt drive. The hub drive motor in the rear provides the power, but the gears either shift automatically or are controlled electronically at the handlebars. It's a truly unique e-bike at the $2,000 price point, and I can't wait to see the production model. Next, let's talk about Aventon's unique models, the Rambless and the Solterra. Leaning into Aventon wanting to compete more in the brick and mortar bike shop space, they launched a true electric mountain bike with the Rambless. At $2699, it's the e-bike I'd recommend for those who want to tackle some real single track. Another good use case if you already own an Aventon Aventure and found yourself doing lots of off-roading, this might be your upgrade. It's their first mid-drive and the motor power is downright impressive. My wife is currently riding the limited edition Aurora colorway, and it's just a blast to ride. I can't wait to see if Aventon builds out more of their e-bikes into mid-drive electric bikes. And then you have the Solterra, which is Aventon's full-size, lightweight, and affordable commuter or urban e-bike. At $999, it's a great choice for those who maybe already commute on a non-electric bike but want that extra boost. Just be mindful of the narrower tires. As a reminder, links down in the description to check up-to-date pricing and also support the channel for free. Thank you so much for your support. Choosing between Lectric and Aventon is going to come down to personal preference. Whether you prioritize the in-store experience, which is unique from Aventon, or you prefer some of the cost savings that you can get with Lectric, you really can't go wrong. We ride both, and again, I've recommended both to friends and family members. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you've watched this far. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.